I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Kodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone for pushing this truth. The more and more I listen to this one particular lesson about leaders of no values, I just kept thinking of more and more scriptures, and I just said I got to stop because I don't want this to be all over the place. And to all the sincere people in Sicarii, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Hold on, we gonna get this work.
First of all, let me ask you, who would you consider to be your leader today? Do you have any leaders?
Of course. You know, I look to in different ways. I look to different people as leaders, but just as you know, like for example, like to me, it is ludicrous to deny the fact that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the leader of Black people in America. I don't think that there's any.
Now, you have to pay close attention to what's going on, to what tree you're getting your fruit from, especially if it's the root of that tree. Now, when we go to the book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 27, it reads, "But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay before me." This is the book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 27 in the Blue Letter Bible. I suggest everybody download that app and don't take the update. All of a sudden it wants me to update it. This is Yahawashi speaking. And we're going to go down to the word reign.
Strong's G 936. Basiluo. Basiluo.
Basiluo. Basiluo. To be king, to exercise kingly power, to reign. This is Yahawashi saying that those that wish that I do not reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me with the sword. So the definitions for reign, we're going to go down to the last one. But the first one says to be king, to exercise kingly power, to reign, of the governor of a province. Okay, and Yahawashi only came for the 12 tribes of Yahashala, 12 tribes of Israel, not the Israelis. Of the rule of the Messiah, reign. Of the rule of the Messiah, reign. Of the reign of Christians in the millennium. Pay attention to that, because we know that the Christians were first called Christians in Antioch. Reign, of the reign of Christians in the millennium. And what does it say next? Metaphorically, to exercise the highest influence to control. What does your leaders do? They influence you to what? To make the right decision or the wrong decision. Your leaders influence you to listen to this person or to that person. So Sicarri, if your leader is somebody that's telling you to listen to, that Black people's leader in America is anybody else except for who's going to kill you if you don't choose them, according to the scriptures, you need to leave the camp of Sicarri, just based off that alone. And we we could take it deeper. We could have went up. Matter of fact, we should go up. Goodness gracious. Y'all should read that scripture on y'all own. Y'all should know. Y'all are Sicarii.
Possible way anybody can dispute that logically with fact. You can feel like he's not your leader, but there's no other person who has demonstrated himself to be a leader of black people in this country more than the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Well, maybe not. Yahawashi didn't physically himself demonstrate in the flesh in America, but he did it through the Spirit. That's how you got the information that you received. What's that other scripture I had pulled up? 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 1. Rebuke not an elder. He did not. He didn't rebuke anybody. I didn't hear any rebuke. What does it say next? But entreat him as a father. So who is your elder? Who is your father? Who is your spiritual father? Who put you on to game? Who gave you this work to be able to try to get a penny, a spiritual penny, your spiritual reward? Or is it about your fleshly reward? Because sin does stay close to buying and selling. I did just read that. Yeah, it's still up. I'm still in copy and paste mode. The book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 2. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones. So then that's just a description of how something is built, something is constructed. A nail sticks fast between the joinings of the stones. That's how things were built in ancient times. Now you can just picture it as wood. As a nail sticks fast to a wooden bench, or a bus stop wooden bench, if that makes sense, or a picnic bench. Just try to think. I'm looking at the dinner bench, whatever. Anyway, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling. And what is sin? Transgression of the law. Denying Yahawashi is a transgression of the law.
Right, but I'm not in the next.
In this day and time. Not that it wasn't back then. But everything that was written for our learning.
Islam, anything like that, but I still look to him as the leader of black people because who else is, right? But like me.
So that's based off being carnal. That's based off being carnal. The 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. And our brethren could not speak unto you as unto spiritual. So maybe you couldn't understand that Luke I don't wanna burn I was about to say Luke 19:27. But those my enemies, which were not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. That's literal, but maybe you couldn't get that because it's just a book. It's just the Bible. It must be some spiritual mumbo jumbo. It's both. It's spiritual and carnal. You get slayed spiritually, and then you get slayed carnally. And it seems like you're on the chopping block. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. And our brethren could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Hamashiach. I have fed you with milk and not with meat. So you got some milk from your elder, from your father, whoever that may be. You didn't want to say who it was. It might be Farrakhan. I don't know. That's your leader. So that's the black leader. But you said you have other leaders, but we don't know who they are. So You got fed milk and not with meat. Whatever meat you got, it wasn't cooked right. That's for sure. For hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. For ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envying and strife. And when I read you're carnal, I just thought of the backdrop. The backdrop. To the left, we got something that the man can't even probably draw. And to the right, we got something that the man probably did draw. Design his clothes, his hat, his poster, his beard. I mean, Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi designed it, but if he paid that much attention to his outfit, he had to do a little design to his beard. He got to have this design on my beard. It has to be designed this way. Verse 3, for ye are yet carnal, for whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? And what is Sonetta asking him? He's asking him the history. What's going on? The spiritual history behind these scriptures and how it came into play. Behind in the flesh of the carnal men.
Personally, as spiritual leaders, elders like Elder Priest Kahan from Light of Zion, Chief Minister Shalimar, brothers like that, definitely is who I look to as leaders.
You might get some backlash from that one though, bro.
I know.
Mentioned Farrakhan.
I know,
you
but
might get backlash on that one, bro.
I just got to be real.
So he just got stuck on Farrakhan and wanted to just keep mentioning that when he mentioned other people. So instead of focusing on the names that, with the doctrine of the Bible, he spoke on a name that piqued his interest. I'm talking about this guy on the left here. This guy on the left. Look at his eyes. He's just so ready to hear it. So, I started thinking other thoughts about him. It's kind of making me wonder about him. But,
we just gotta be real and understand that, there's no brother that's done what he's done. The only other person you can say is Dr. Khalid. And of course, unfortunately, he's not here with us anymore. So right. Who else other than the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been able to do what he's done and represent as long as he had? We just got to give it up. It's not even about...
Represent what? Black people? Represent black people? 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6. 4. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 4. For while one saith, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos, are ye not carnal? See, oh man. Who then is Paul, and who is Apollos, but ministers by whom ye believed, even as the Lord gave to every man? So, now I'm thinking, every man got they ministers they believe. Some people, grandma, they ministers. And this guy has multiple ministers with multiple beliefs. He got a money minister too. I ditched mines. It's crazy. That's boom, 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 boom. Verse 6. I have planted, Apollos watered, but Yahawah gave the increase. So, you don't want to say who planted, but you mentioned who watered, because you mentioned a whole bunch of names. So you mentioned who watered, but you don't want to mention who planted. Who is your father? Who is your daddy? You don't want to say. You too proud. You got too many hit songs. You got too many fans, too many groupies. The strippers look good. They did. They look good. I'll say it. But that's because they were strippers. So they look like fun. Not nothing worth nothing. It looked like you had a fun night on the wrong day. Shit. Oh, matter of fact, let me.
Oh, he into Islam, but it ain't even about that. He's about our people.
Now, you know there are still members from the original leaders of One West. You still got some of the brothers that's still alive.
And he keeps mentioning One West for a reason. That's where the truth was planted. And when I say planted, I mean it fell on good ground and brought more fold. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6. I have planted, Apollos watered, but Yahawah gave the increase. So then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but Yahawah that give the increase. See, this guy acting like he don't know the scriptures. Like he can't think of no scriptures right now. Like nothing can come to him but carnal thoughts. No scriptures are coming to him. His eyes aren't closed. He's blinking, but no scriptures are coming to him. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one. So who taught you? Who planted it? Who watered it? And then you just got a whole bunch of water from everywhere else. Somebody turned on a sprinkler system. And you just wandered somewhere and just got caught up in a sprinkler system. You know how like nice, I was about to say industrial. Well, all types of industrial complexes, business complexes, apartment complexes, residential neighborhoods. You just be walking through, cutting through. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make it somewhere, cut through, and then sprinklers cut on out of nowhere. You didn't even know it was built into the area or something like that. Especially if you're going to John Hopkins Hospital or something like that. You, boom, all sprinkler night. So, yeah, man, you just got drenched. You got to dry off. You got to get back to your source. You got to come home. You got to come home. You got to be the prodigal son. You got to humble yourself. I don't want to see nothing happen to you. Maybe that's because I don't know you. I'm just being honest. I'm just speaking from the heart, bro. I don't know you. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9. Now, it's like in verse 8. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. You don't want a reward from the left side of the angels, bro. The host of the angels of the left side, bro.
Is there anything they could have done better? And what would you say to them respectfully about their mistakes when they started the One West?
Yeah, so that's an amazing question. So we was doing camp out here in Atlanta, and one of the original, one of the seven, one of the Central Command, one of the One West leaders, just pulled up on the camp, and he talked to the brother Hassad, and Hassad like,
you didn't answer the question, bro. You sound like a politician right now. He said, what would you say? He said, what would you say?
Oh yeah, this brother, he's from One West, he want to meet you. So I said, what's up to him? And he's like, I go back to the school and, I'm glad to see what you brothers are doing. And so when he walked off, Asad actually told me who it was. And he was one of the original 7. And it's like, I know that he's kicking himself because he realizes that he didn't stay the course. And even though it took a long time for this thing to get to this point, it happened. A lot of them brothers gave up. A lot of them brothers ran out of gas. And they didn't.
He said, what would you say respectfully? And there's people still doing the work. But you instead of you saying something respectfully to the people still doing the work, you mention someone that's not doing the work. And you shit on them. When actually with us knowing, a couple of scriptures more than the common folk, it's not hard to shit on anybody, bro, with this book. So how dare you? How dare you? Think of anything of yourself, man. It's like, why did I click on this? What was that? Salakia. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9. For we are laborers together with Yahawah. And it's very important to emphasize the name of the God. Because anybody could just say God and everybody just feel all warm and fuzzy. But all throughout the scriptures, it emphasizing the name of God. And let's just pretend emphasizing means stresses. So it stresses, stressing the name of God. So 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9, for we are laborers together with Yahawah. Ye are God's husbandry. Ye are God's building. And when you learn the doctrine, you learn the doctrine of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. And the Strong's definition of husbandry in this
Strong's G 1091. Georgian.
Georgia in this scripture is cultivated field, husbandry, tillage. So are you a part of that field of Yahawah? In the name of Yahawashi? Excuse me. Are ye God's building? Because if you are, matter of fact, I should have stayed in that. Because if you are, then then Luke 19:27. Come on now. Then the book of Luke chapter 19 verse 27. But those my enemies, which not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. That's how we know it's not talking about Jesus. It's the completely different Jesus than they've been telling us about. Because this book say if you don't want him to exercise the highest influence over you, then he's gonna put you to death. What is this guy talking about?
Understand what was eventually going to become, but we still appreciate them for, laying the groundwork. But a lot of them, the ones that fell off, a lot of them brothers ran.
So he understand, he appreciates them laying the groundwork for him getting money, bitches around the country. Not bitches, box around the country, and material for music. Instead of keeping it on that street stuff like everybody else, he got a whole new what you call it, a whole new genre, a whole new oh man, this guy.
Out of gas, and to this point, it happened. A lot of them brothers gave up. A lot of them brothers ran out of gas, and they didn't understand what was eventually going to become. But we still appreciate them for, laying the groundwork. But a lot of them, the ones that fell off, I wish they would have just continued in it and stayed the course. That's the critique that I.
You cannot tickle Yahawah. Okay? You said they ran out of gas. Well, then how did I learn anything? Because the only thing I learned from you was the 13th month. And I was too new to understand that. I had to stop listening to you after that. I said, what the hell, 13th month? Oh, man. But that's before I started congregating with the Watchmen for Israel. So that wasn't even 40 days. Yeah, that wasn't even 40 days in 2019 or whatever, whenever. Come on, man. I ain't learned nothing from you but 13 months, man. I couldn't understand that back then. Oh, yeah, I learned that you would make money off the music and stuff. I didn't know that was going on until y'all. I didn't know that I could, make my own brand of clothes and sell my own brand of clothes. I didn't know that. I didn't know I could do that until y'all. See, I learned a lot of stuff that I can't do from y'all, to be honest. I learned a lot of stuff not to do from y'all. I don't think I would like you. I don't think you would like me. I'm talking about the old me or the new me. I don't think we would have gotten along. Yeah. We would have bumped heads. Ended up with knots.
Have of them, but regardless, the Most High utilized them. They paved the way for brothers like myself, and we paving the way for more brothers and sisters to come into this thing.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, brother.
To come into what thing? To come into what thing? You know what I'm starting to notice after listening to you, because I don't listen to you. I'm starting to notice that you on a mission. You're on a mission. I don't care what it is. It's not going to work. And I'm starting to realize you should have never showed them guns. You got big problems ahead of you, buddy. You better hurry up and run home. You better run. Home or far as away as you can. Because you got an angel chasing you, boy. You really got an angel chasing you. And he's on your damn heels.
What is your relationship with other One West camps such as GMS, HOI, IUIC, FOP, and ISUPK? What is your relationship with these other groups? And why haven't y'all built a stronger foundation so no one can really penetrate that? Because all of y'all come out of One West. So I don't understand why these groups that separated, that split off.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 10. According to the grace of Yahawah, which is given unto me. Who? The ones that will have the correct doctrine and not do interviews and not even bring out nothing about no doctrine. Like not even mentioning no doctrine, not exalting Yahawah or Yahawashi, which they always did. Not exalting the brothers and the brethren, mentioning the brothers and the brethren, which they always did, in the letters back and forth, which is what these are now. And ironically, I was thinking that they wanted to like intercept the letters. You know how it is when you're in jail. They read your incoming mail. They read all your incoming mail when you're in jail. So you know they wanted to intercept the letters. And that's what they do now with the internet when the prophets send letters back and forth. They're trying to intercept the letters, mess them up, not let the deliveries get through. And you're not even giving them no work. Like you're doing, like that's part of your job. I like the hat though. Ever since my first time down in Miami, I always wanted a Dolphins jersey and a Dolphins hat. Yeah, but I felt like I had to move down there to get it. That's why I left my Tampa thing. I gotta get back to Tampa.
Still don't have a united bond. You know, like y'all could say, you know what, we're gonna have.
I gotta get the hell out of here, man. I get the hell out of here. Not. Oh man.
What they call that when everybody come back together again?
Family reunion?
Yes, we're gonna.
Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory and honor to you.
Subscribe to this brother. I don't want to sit here and play another man's lesson. I'm gonna put this in the description box. Somebody had shared this, and I just it's my first time ever seeing him. Lord willing, not the last.
Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Manatazak with GMS Ancient of Days in Los Angeles, currently teaching with the small sanctuary in Inglewood. And today, through the Spirit, I want to do a response to
Shalom to you. I know you're not hearing me, but you know the angels record everything. Now, I wanted to play the whole thing so his name could get out, because I didn't know his name. It's my first time seeing that. I haven't watched the video yet. So I'm not bringing out no more scriptures right now. I didn't even want to respond to it, but if you're in Sicarii, you got to get out. Let him stay.